I have to remember to pay my bills. Pay that electric bill, that gas bill, gotta pay those car payments. I better save some money for those payments for my future bills. I need to do all this. Eggs, food, budgeting, am I right? It's a part about growing up. You gotta budget your paychecks so you can pay for all of your life's needs, like taxes and car payments and gas and food and your bills and your mortgage and your rent and everything else and all your subscriptions as well. So we don't got a lot of money, but what little money we do keep for ourselves, that's the money we get to use for our hobby. But we don't want to overuse that money. We want to budget that money. So that's what we're talking about today. So let's discuss budgeting in tabletop miniature games. Welcome to Hobby Time Episode 4, Budgeting. Well, budgeting has a neat word. Of course, I graduated with accounting, so budgeting means a little bit more to me because I am an accounting major. Though I may not do accounting as my current career, I still took 4 years of college and learned a degree. So how do we budget in this hobby? Well, it's pretty easy. How much personal income do you put aside that is separate from your bills, all the payments you have to make? That is only the money we keep as our fun money. Buy video games, buy books, buy the new music, buy models, buy paints, buy paintings, whatever it is. That's usually the money we usually keep to do our personal fun. And in this hobby, it's important to understand what your limit of is. So if you say $200 of every one of your paychecks is for your personal fun money, then that's all the money you can budget for your hobby. And that's not bad. Because being able to budget that money means that you won't go over crazy and buying a bunch of models. Now trust in me, as someone who has a bunch of plastic models all over the place that I have spent money and money and money and money on, that I kind of wish I had taken some time to budget myself on buying models. I think it would have been much better. Then also you don't get all the plastic shame. But anyways, when budgeting, it's important to understand how much your models are costing you and what exactly you want to do with your money. So for instance, if you picked up the game that we talked about in episode 1 and you're looking to expand that game, again, we talked about that in episode 2. So of course, you're looking to expand the models or even expand to a different range within that game. Well, it's very important to understand what those models are going to cost you. Again, searching off of third-party sellers, your local gaming store, which is always where you should go to buy anything, is from your locals, or buying from the seller themselves. It's important to know how much you can buy. If, for instance, you're starting a bolt action army and you've picked up the Band of Brothers European side and you're going to expand out the Americans, well, there's a lot you can expand out. You can expand out with tanks, with anti-armor guns, with paratroopers, everything. But you look on a couple websites, third parties, your local gaming store, and you realize, well, with your $200 that you also want to spend on a new video game you just saw, or maybe like me, you need to spend on some new camera equipment, or maybe you want to spend on a new subscription to a licensed music thing, or maybe you want to buy a book or something like that, or get a new TV, you can only maybe buy a couple models, and that's perfectly fine. You figure out the price of, say, some infantry, some airmen. You really want to paint up some paratroopers for your Americans. Well, you see they're about $65. Okay, well that fits right into your budget, and you can pick that up. Now, budgeting can also mean a different thing in this hobby. Budgeting how many models you get at a time. So for instance, you say every paycheck, you have $200 to spend in personal money. You're going to go buy out a model, a little kit of models, or a sprue of models, or a big model from it. But you will not buy any more models until you finish painting that model. So you do start recurring some of that savings of that money for your personal funds. So then you can use that maybe to go get a few more boxes of models. And that's really good as well, budgeting how long you want to paint a miniature. So if you do one box of miniatures, You complete that and then you get another box or 2 boxes. You can complete those before you get more boxes. It also does help you not gather plastic shame in this thing. So you buy too many models without enough time to paint them all, and then you might just throw some models that you think about you're going to paint one day, and then you throw them into a box, into a closet, and you forget about them. And so 10 years later, you're looking, oh, I have these. And then of course, like I said, you might sell them on eBay to get some money back, or at least make some money to what they were. So really that's what budgeting is. There's not really much to talk about in budgeting. I mean, it's really understand how much money you can spend in this hobby. Don't overspend your money. So if you know for a fact you can only spend $200 in this hobby, then don't suddenly think you can spend $500 in this hobby. Spend whatever your personal funds are that you budget out every paycheck. Maybe you budget on a system of at the end of every month, you're going to pick up some models. That's great too. Again, like I said, budgeting models, how many models you're collecting at any one time, how often you pick them up is also very important. So let me know down in the comments how exactly you use your budgeting skills, whether with money and with models, to get the most out of this hobby. Let me know, do you have any special methods you use? Do you only get a box of models? You must paint them all up before you get another box of models? Do you do, say, a monthly thing where every month you will pick up models and you will work on them through the month and then pick up more models at the end of that month? Or until you've completed the last month's models, not pick up the models for next month? Let me know all of that. I'm more than happy to read all of your comments on exactly how you budget in this hobby. And of course, do make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you get notified when my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time on Mama Dragon's Miniatures.